require citizens'
I'm not
presentation.
generating this agenda either. This is
Who
by the city attorney.
Is it okay, you like another cookie?
No, thanks.
So no pledge of allegiance.
No pledge.
We have another one, so
Okay,
no.
well, very simple.
Look at the flowers.
Let's make this
Who brought the
official.
flowers? You?
Hello, let's make this official. Okay, this is a charter review board, Wednesday, May 21st, 2014, 5:40. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Roll call. Mayor Eduardo Mujina.
Present.
Vice Mayor Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Blanca.
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Present.
Commissioner Suarez.
Yes.
Val de la Rosa is excused. Maria Diaz is excused. Neida Galvez, she's absent. Fran Hernandez.
Present.
Val Correll is absent. John Parker.
Here.
Here. Evelyn Paz, she's excused. She might come later. Irene Rodriguez.
Present.
Alex Soto.
Present.
Present. Mitchell Subiadain.
Present.
Present. Yolanda Aguilar, City Manager.
Present.
Present. City Attorney is on his way. And Nelly Gonzalez, City Clerk, present.
Can you suggest to the attorney to take out item 1, Pledge of Allegiance, since he's the one generating this agenda, and item 3, citizen presentation?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Then let's go right into the approval of the minutes.
Approval of minutes of May 7, 2014
Do I-
meeting.
I don't have a copy of the minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor, I was reading and I found that everything is according to what we discussed.
Okay, is that a motion?
Yeah, I have a motion.
I second.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Well, at this point, the other thing that I would like to suggest is, well, go to the order, we can leave it there for any comments. And for now, I guess we'll take a break till the attorney comes in. So much for that.
So we would be starting section 3.06,
7?
The last,
3.
the last, section, we was, 306. And,
We would be-
it was left as it is. It was, either Robert's rule or Mason's rule of order. And it was left as it is. So 307 is the next, section to be considered.
Well,
Which is, initiative and referendum.
I'm gonna kill some time by eating a cookie.
I thought about bringing like milk, you know, like sugar and milk. But I said, nah, next time. Next time I'll bring
Yeah,
the,
I know. We tried to get the healthy
next time I'll
one.
bring the white milk.
Oh, I
This one.
sent you a
So good with
mail
milk.
yesterday. How did I give
I
you?
don't know. It's raisin.
Oh, yeah.
Instead
I
of the
got that
chocolate.
It's oatmeal raisin, it's healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's healthier.
But after I got that
I
one,
mean, I
something
really
happened
don't
to
care
my
much
email.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that called me after you sent me that email and said, hey, I'm getting emails from
Oh,
you."
yes, I got
I
one
actually
too.
meant to tell you and I forgot.
I forgot too.
Yeah.
I've been out of it.
I had the Geek Squad on it, but I have to tell them I'll call you later. I'll get it done later. Geek Squad is great, man. You sign up, log in with them, and they do everything for you. You just sit there and
Watch,
you just
yeah.
watch.
They do it remotely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just
I don't
about
have the contract,
a
so.
couple of virus scans, so.
Yeah, I don't know what I hit the link so I can unsubscribe. When you hit their link to get the unsubscription little button, I think
Yeah,
that's.
don't. if I get emails, I just delete them. I don't unsubscribe, nothing, just delete them.
It's just that they go to the junk file, and then in 2-3 days, I have like 100 of them.
I just clear out, I just clear my, into my junk
Well,
mail.
that's
I don't
what-
even open it.
That's what I want.
I just enter my junk mail, you know, once a week.
That's what I've been doing all along, and then the other day I said, you know what, let me
Unsubscribe, that's what happened.
let me unsubscribe.
La más civilizada.
Te voy a decir por qué en un minuto.
Esta es la segunda distribución que yo hago con ustedes. El año pasado tuve el privilegio de también venir a hacer una distribución acá y no hubo ningún tipo de inconveniente. Así que se los agradezco sinceramente porque nos hacen a nosotros el trabajo mucho más sencillo.
Gracias.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes, sir.
before we start, we took a break, we called the road. I made some suggestions on the agenda, perhaps for next time, to eliminate a couple of items that we don't, like for instance, item 1, Pledge of Allegiance. Item 3, citizen presentation. Just for next time. Suggestions. Unless you think they need to be there, but since we're not doing it.
Well, we don't have any citizen presentation as such. We have not had any, but unfortunately we have, or fortunately we have a new statute that was passed by Senator Negron this past year that mandating that any open hearing have to have citizen presentation if they so wish.
I agree then. Pardon my,
That's okay.
what about the Pledge of Allegiance?
It's up to the group.
Didn't take that long.
Member Maria Diaz has arrived.
Do you want to keep the Pledge of Allegiance? Because if we leave it here, then we have to do it. I don't want to ignore it.
I would like to do it.
Want to do it? Okay, so
I
let's
make a
leave it
motion,
in.
we keep it.
All those in favor?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
I think we need to pause for the pledge. If we're gonna keep it, I think before we continue on the business, we
Okay.
need to do.
Okay, so stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of
the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
have an agenda? We finished last time at the procedure, and so we started.
On the agenda or the minutes?
No, the agenda. I don't want. Oh, you did the agenda?
The agenda,
You did the minutes?
yes.
Okay, fine.
They were approved already.
Okay, fine. And the first item on the today's minutes, meeting will be section 3.07. Initiative and referendums. This is an item that usually you will find in all charters throughout Miami-Dade County and throughout the state of Florida. If you go to Munico, you will find that this is a standard procedure. However, there is a few things that I'd like to comment with you. Number one, the number of commencement of proceedings and subsection 2 and section 3.07. It says commencement of the proceeding, any 25 qualified voters may commence initiative of referendums. So it's up to you to leave it at that number or to change it to whatever number you want.
How many residents do we have here in West Miami right now, give or take?
6,000.
6,000?
Around, shy of
Pardon?
6,000.
Yeah,
I think more than that. I thought it was 7,500.
6,002.
Well,
6,002 says on the website.
according to the census.
Can I ask?
There's always more.
What is a
Well,
referendum?
yeah, about 6.
Mr. Attorney, can you explain what a
I know,
referendum?
I'm sorry, but I have no idea.
No, that's fine.
I have a question. The county, last year, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they worked on this,
Yes, they did.
and they put a percentage, or they did, what formula they used?
Actually, as I understand it, what they had was a change on the recalls, which what happened was that there was a lot of fraud in recalls because the way that a recall works is that whoever wants to start a recall will come out to the clerk and will file the petition, and then what happened was that it was one sheet where many people could sign on that one sheet, and there was a lot of people that even though they signed, they did not qualify as electors or voters, and then there was a affidavit that was accompanied with that certifying that each one of the signatures were true and correct, and the precincts were wrong. Many of the addresses were not even in existence. Some of the signatures were not readable, so it was a lot of problems. So what they did was one signature, one affidavit. But this had nothing to do with this. You see, the initiative, the difference between the initiative and referendum is that when a citizen wants to propose an ordinance, let's say that somebody comes in here and says, I would like to have whatever ordinance, they can come and through an initiative period, again, register with the clerk and start a committee. That committee will have to finance that particular initiative, and they can propose that at the commission. If the commission does not take action, then pursuant to our charter today, it has to go out to a referendum. And that's one issue that I like to address, because this is a very small city with a very small budget, and conceivably the going around with the referendum or the initiatives could bankrupt the city, because how much does the special election cost?
We don't have yet the estimate for this last election, but I think the elections of 2012 we were like
25,000.
25,000.
24 and change.
Well, assuming that,
But a special one
25,000.
could even be more costly
Right.
because it's a special election.
well, this is an issue with finances. Yes, sir.
But Mr. Attorney, also they work in the number. They increase the number of the voters who submit the petition. Because it was too low, anyone could get a bunch of friends and start a petition and try to create a disruption in the government.
Well, I can't answer that because
I think they went to 20% or something. I think they went to a percentage.
I was gonna say the same thing. 25, I'm not a mathematician, but I mean, you can probably figure out 25 people out of 6,000 is probably like 0.0001%.
Right.
Doesn't mean
Right.
anything.
But there's only 3,000 electors.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it
It's
doesn't
only-
matter.
right.
It's a resident. The
I
elections
think that
are-
has to be, I agree with Mayor.
I think we should go to the, instead of 25 residents, 25% of the residents, or something like that. I'm pretty sure that the county did something with the numbers, pretty sure.
And they do it by qualified electors, not residents, because some
Right, well,
residents
we're
may
talking
not
about, yeah,
be
we're talking about elections.
registered to vote.
But they increased the number because it was ridiculous.
what happened was, Commissioner, that what went down to 25% is that they mandated that no more than 25% of the vote required signatures came out from the same district. In other words, one district could not control the entire county. So I happen to have Article 8 of Miami-Dade County Charter here. And as far as initiative and referendum, it says, according to the official record of the supervisory election, in determining the sufficiency of the petition, no more than 25% of the valid signature required shall come from voters registered in a single county district.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Okay? That's what happened. The 25% is that, let's say that an area,
Yes.
a very affluent area comes out and they want to have a petition, and 25% from there or more, 25% plus one would vote and will impose their will on everybody in the community. Well, that's the way it was. And further, it states that each person circulated a copy of the petition shall attach it to a sworn affidavit stating the number of signatures and the fact that each signature was made in the presence of the circulator or petition. Again, that was because at, let's say, churches and outside of supermarkets, there was a table there that people could come and sign and whatever, and there was a lot of fraud there.
Oh, yeah. People pass by, people without papers, they sign because they they think it wasn't fair. Put my name, yeah, I put my name, boom, boom, boom.
Now, the language, if you read it with me, it says initiative, the qualified voters, and then it says down below, which goes to up to 15%, or the city shall have the power to propose an ordinance to the council, and if the council fails to adopt the ordinance so proposed without any change or substance, to adopt or reject at a city election, provided that such power shall not execute to the budget, not extend to the budget or capital program or any ordinance relating to appropriation of money, levy taxes, or salaries of the city employees. Okay? And then goes the commencement of proceeding afterwards. Then the referendum is that if a particular ordinance that is adopted by the commission, people registered in the city of West Miami may have the ability of bringing that to a referendum in order to overturn the action of the council or the commission. Now, there's one thing that I do not personally approve of, which I think is a very bad policy. We should go to the following page, friend 5, referendum petition suspension of effective ordinance. It says, when a referendum petition is filed with the city clerk or other official designated by the commission, then the ordinance thought to be reconsidered shall be suspended from taking effect. I think that's a very bad policy, because it would put into a minority, a very small minority, which have not even gone out to an election, that one particular issue that have been discussed in a public hearing, in a public setting, it's without effect. Personally, I don't like that, but it's up to you.
Well, let me, going back to the referendum, they're also talking about here 15% of the total number of qualified voters for petitions.
Well, we'll go there, Commissioner. We'll go there now, okay? Says petitions. Number of signature initiative of referendum. Petition must be signed by qualified voters of the city equal to at least 15% of the total qualified voters registered to vote in the last regular election. So this is the number that you all have right now, 15%.
But what I'm looking here, years ago when they just put the 25 qualified voters, today the population is larger. And today with the way we have with the technologies and the communication, I think it should be 25 is something ridiculous. It should be maybe 2,500 or 250 or 500. That's what my suggestion.
It's up to you, I think.
Residents or just voters?
Voters.
Voters.
Yeah, we got
We're
3,000
talking
voters.
about voters.
Okay. Okay, we have 3,000 voters, make it a third. 1,000 have to sign. It would have to be something
30%
it would have to be something monumental that that everybody would say, yes, this is outrageous, I'm signing for it.
Well,
substantial part of the voters.
in researching the rest of the county, nobody has that.
That's what.
That number.
Such great numbers.
Yeah.
What do they have?
What they have?
What do they have?
They have 15%, 10%. So I would be careful.
But they have a lot more voters.
Well, 15% is 15%. I mean,
Well, but, so this,
Well, 15% is more than 25, so.
yeah.
Yeah,
But there is-
yeah, it's 15% of 3,450.
But there is something here.
So,
Mr. Attorney,
yes, sir.
when they, in the paragraph, in the 3.72, when they're talking about 25 qualified voters, and then in the petition A, they're talking about 50%. Can we make a change here and put the 15% of qualified voters? 15% of 3,000 would be about 450 or 500 voters.
450.
450, that's a number too. So we should equalize this with the 15% with these 25 voters. That's my suggestion.
If you have 2,000 voters, that would be 300 voters. If you have,
Well, supposedly we got
3,000
3,000.
something.
We got 3,000 something. So
Right.
times
How
15,
many
times 15%, that's
electors do we have
450.
at the last
450, I mean,
3,000.
450 is,
that's a number. That's a good number.
Less than
15%. So we're changing it.
15%, that's it.
We have to vote, we're all in agreement, vote, what are we doing? Let's move.
Give the 15%
On both.
in both.
And
If
make
this
it,
is a standard number,
make it.
That would be a standard number throughout the county.
we agree with the standards, all right?
Okay, we need a motion?
Motion to change any
To change.
To change under 3.7, number 2, we're gonna change it to 15% of qualified voters.
Second.
We're deleting any 25, and changing that to 15% of.
I misunderstood, Commissioner. I thought that you were talking about petitions on 3A.
We're on 3.07, commencement of proceedings, number 2, where it says any 25 qualified voters.
Yeah, but we had to bring this at the end.
I think the intent is to make
It the same as
3.07 paren 2 the same as 3 paren A.
1A.
Correct.
15%.
Correct. Correct.
Commenting on procedure and petitions, the same, 15%. Clear?
What did you suggest?
That's what you said, the 15% is a standard number.
No, wait a minute. When I was talking about 15% being the standard number, I was referring to, I misunderstood. I understood to be 3 paren A.
Oh, well, we had started talking about 3.07,
No, so,
then we jumped without
Yeah.
making this
Right.
decision on that one. We
See,
jumped around.
See, the 25 qualified voters is only the, what they call the committee, okay? It's a very difficult thing to have a committee of 500 people. So, frankly, my recommendation,
I understand.
The motion dies.
my recommendation would leave it like it is.
Dies.
The
Okay.
committee of 25, they should get the signature of the 15%.
Yes, sir.
That now clear.
Now it makes sense.
The committee of 25 persons, we will try to get, we
Oh,
should,
okay, so-
they should get the 15% of the voters.
The motion did not get a second, so it dies.
For the petition, yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. So, procedure for filing. This is a very convoluted thing. You have 5 days, and then you have 20 days, and you have 15 days, and another 5 days, and so on and so forth. But as the as Commissioner Estrada has said in the past, you have not encountered a problem, so why change it if it's not broken?
So your recommendation is left this the way it is?
Yes.
All right.
Now, the only issue that I like to be sure that I didn't find it quite clear is this. The signature comes out to the city of West Miami, and it's filed with the clerk of the city of West Miami, which is also the canvassing officer of the city of West Miami. Canvassing is nothing more than checking out whether one signature coincides with the registry of the elections department. I still have not clear in my mind whether this explains who canvasses, who says the signature is correct. To place that burden on the clerk, I think that it's a little draconian, because she would be responsible for checking out 500 signature for truth and veracity on a referendum or a petition. So I would recommend to leave the procedure like it is, and the clerk and I will check out with the elections department what they think is the best way, whether they would certify that the signature are correct, or it would fall on the burden on the clerk. So that portion will come out for the following week.
Well, let me ask you, normally, actually, the county is who certifies the signatures. The election department.
I understand, but you see, it doesn't say that here. The canvassing, it says canvassing,
Yes.
is on the clerk. What the clerk does in an election is to get absentee ballots and compare them physically right there, because she has the machine right in front of her, to see whether that signature in the absentee ballot coincides with the machine that the election department brings. But the clerk does not have a such machine in her office.
But in this case, we should explain that the election department should verify the signature of that group. If it's not-
That is my suggestion.
Well, that's what we have to do. We have to delete that they put that big, large group on hands of our canvassing, because our canvassing is too small, is a clerk.
Okay, but we have to check with the clerk, with the elections department, because we just don't want to run into, we don't want to say something here that the election department is going to say, no, we're not going to do that.
My recommendation is to check that.
Yes.
And come back with a report.
So I would agree, I would recommend to leave it like it is,
All right.
with the exception that at the next commission, next meeting, the clerk and I would give you a recommendation based on what our investigation with the elections department is.
Clear enough.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman, I have a question just for clarity, because I know there's some sections we're not changing. Where it says council, are we leaving council, or is that going to be changed to
No,
commission?
one of the recommendations that I made was that one of the questions in the ballot would be, do you agree that whenever it says council in the,
That was done.
That was.
the what? Yeah, but it's not here.
And
There's
it
a
was,
section
for
here.
some, yes, there's a section in the new code of ordinances or charters that basically refers to the issue anytime where the word council is utilized either in the code of ordinances or the charter of the city, it shall be
Should refer-
substituted.
referred as,
Where do we have that?
Yes.
We had it in the last election of the city of West Miami as a referendum question, not the 2014 election, but one where we had some charter amendments.
Well, if that is the case,
That was 10
Yes.
years ago.
So even though.
Here, I found.
if that is the case,
About 6 years ago,
It says-
8 years ago.
Less than that?
Yes.
Okay.
Wherever there appears in the city charter reference or to designate the city council or councilman, such reference or designation shall be commission or commissioner respectively.
okay.
So
Does
even
that-
though we're saying here, no changes, that will be
That's
changed.
section,
That, well.
3.02,
basically, your new
3.01.
charter basically says
3.01.
anytime you see the word council, it should read commission. But
Here,
they haven't
section
changed it.
3.01.
But it will be changed. Okay, perfect, thank you.
We hope that it will be changed because there's a section in the charter that addresses that
Perfect,
issue.
okay, perfect,
3.01.
thank you.
Whenever we republish our entire code,
Mhm.
then they change it.
Perfect, okay.
Okay, what I would suggest then is for the commission to approve sufficient funds as to write a new charter, because we, there's a lot of changes everywhere, so that's well taken.
They would need to republish the entire code of ordinances and charter to be able to make that change and make a brand new book, basically, for us. It's about a $5,000,
Do we not
$6,000.
incur that cost then?
Well, we have to from time to time. We have to codify ordinances every so often, and then Mary does that. And when
I
she,
don't mind
once
any
she
counsel
has
for
a
$5,000.
bundle of ordinances that require publication or insertion in the city code, then we go for an update.
So at that time,
I
we'll
think we
change
need to do
everything at one
a
time.
complete republication so that everything
Is it like in
is.
2009,
Yeah.
2010? 2010, right?
No, probably
Okay.
2010.
Then we go out to subsection 5, which is what I recommended to delete. That suspension, I don't think that's fair, but it's up to you.
Which one?
Right,
Subsection 5.
Oh, another page.
There's no five,
Like referendum, petition,
Referendum,
suspension.
petition.
When a referendum petition is filed with the city clerk or other official designated by the council or the commission should be, the ordinance ought to be reconsidered shall be suspended from taking effect.
I think that what is proper that is that if it goes out to an election and they're successful, then it takes effect. But this thing of I have 25 people and I come on here, I could undo the entire commission.
You want to completely eliminate 5, 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay.
Is there any comment on that?
May I
Sure.
suggest something? Maybe it should read, when a referendum petition is filed with the city clerk or other official designated by the commission, the ordinance sought to be reconsidered shall be in effect until such election takes place, something to that effect, and a vote to rescind that ordinance takes effect, or something
Let's see.
to that effect?
It reads it this way now. When a referendum petition is filed with the clerk or official designated by the council, the ordinance shall sought to be reconsidered shall be suspended from taking effect. I would say whenever there is a referendum, the ordinance shall be not valid after a successful election.
There you go. The ordinance is deemed valid until the conclusion of such election?
Until such
Until
referendum
until results
of the results of such referendum.
Why did you want to remove it altogether?
I'm sorry?
Wasn't your suggestion first to remove it altogether?
No. It's not my suggestion. My suggestion was to reconsider, to take off, suspend, or whatever that the effect of the ordinance shall be suspended. That's what I meant.
I think we want to eliminate it, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all I wrote.
Now, the other thing is you have to also make a determination when the action of a group of people take effect. Assuming that a group of 25 persons consists of a committee, and they do gather the 400 and somewhat signatures needed to put it out on a ballot. Now, and this is not my suggestion, this is something that has to be suggested by the manager, because it does affect your budget, okay? It says, when an initiative referendum petition has been finally determined sufficient, the council shall promptly consider the petition initiative ordinance in the manner provided by Article 3. In other words, once the clerk certifies that there's enough signatures and somebody says that the signatures are correct, then what happens is this: is the referred ordinance, by voting its repeal, if the council fails to adopt the proposed initiative, that means that they propose an ordinance, it comes out to the council or to the commission says, no, we don't want to pass that ordinance, then this is what affects your budget, okay? Any change in substance within 60 days or fail to repeal the referred ordinance within 30 days, in other words, the commission can repeal that, it shall submit the referred ordinance to the voters of the city. Now, when is that? Immediately. Okay? It says submission to the voters. The voters of the city or proposed or referred ordinance shall be held no less than 60 days and no later than 120 days from the date that the petition was determined sufficient. This means that you would have to spend how much money, Madam Clerk?
Give or take.
What?
Give or take $25,000.
So, again, that's up to you, but I think that that's bad policy.
It kind of obligates us or my office to place money every year in the budget in the event of. The problem is you can't have it there, and if you don't wind up using it, it reverts back to the reserves of the city every year. But it kind of makes us, we would be required to budget for that every year.
It has never happened. Okay? Never happened. But if it does happen, okay, I could do a petition today, and they will go to election in 30 days or no more than 120 days, and then I can do a petition again, and it will go to election no less than 60 days and no more than 20 days. So conceivably, you could have 3 special elections in a year.
Right.
Okay?
But I want to say something, this in turn protects all of us as residents, because if there was a problem, I mean, it's never been used, but if there was a problem, like Yolanda mentioned at one time that there was a manager that could have destroyed the whole city, had 25 people acted, we could have taken action on something like that. So it's, I think it's a protection. I mean, I know that it's risky because it is there and they could be used the wrong way, but it also can protect all of you.
Well, let me respond to that in a very tactful way, because I don't want to offend past commissioners. The manager can take action. The commissioners have to approve it. Okay? I mean, just think about that. I mean, it is true, because I was here when the budget hearings would take till 2 o'clock in the morning or more. No, Madam Manager?
Yes, sir.
Today, even though the manager is very articulate, the budget is brought to you, is discussed with every single commissioner, and by the time it gets here, has been distilled to something that I don't think has taken more than 2 hours. Yes, sir.
I just want to correct what she had said before. She had said city manager. It was actually a mayor. So one of you had cited an example, and that's what she was going based on. It was just miscommunication on her part. So those 25 people could have acted and removed the mayor in that case, had a special election and removed him. Correct?
No, sir. I don't think so, because you see, the manager is appointed by the commission.
No, he's talking about the form of government.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about it. There was a mayor currently that was not, that wasn't working, a mayor, not a manager. And if we didn't approve it, 25 individuals wanted a petition, had 450 to sign that petition, then that mayor can indeed be removed and have a special election. Is that correct?
Let's call it a recall.
A recall, but a recall is subject to statutes. There are, I believe, 7 items that are prescribed by statute whereby you can file a petition to remove someone from office. Malfeasance, misfeasance,
Right. And
derelict of duty type of thing.
I think what Maria is trying to get at is that this is important. And she's correct. If it's used incorrectly, it does damage the city. Obviously, it's very costly.
Right.
But like we were stating before, it takes 400 people to sign the petition,
Right.
X amount of people to pass it. It has to be something substantial. That's not gonna happen unless everybody agrees. Government works because it works slow and it takes a lot to make a change. And I think that should stay the same. I don't think it should
Well, that's
change.
okay with me. I mean, my duty is just to bring,
Faster or slower.
my duty is just to bring you what I think are issues. Your duty is just to change it or not change it. I mean, I don't make any recommendations.
Just in case.
Okay, you can leave it like it is if you want to, and go on to the next issue.
No, I'm sorry. I just made a comment about, I know the mayor bite the dust. So that's all.
But I say, if there's no issue, like Maria says, that's fine with me.
Quick question. Yes, I see down at 604.
Miami?
Yes. A section about recall. Who's that? Now, these two separate things, the petition and the recall section, we have, again, 604.
I'm sorry.
We're talking about recall.
Yeah, because you can use this for anything. I just used the example
Right, so I'm
of the
wondering if
manager,
it's-
but we can use it for, right? This could be used for anything. 25 signatures for, I don't know, something with the city hall in
No.
itself. It doesn't have to be against a person.
No. Can't do a recall by,
No, not a
but
recall, this section.
It's the mayor's, man.
what about it?
What does it pertain only to the mayor and the manager, or?
No. This refers to, number one, If a citizen wants an ordinance and brings it here. Number two, if the city have passed an ordinance and enough people don't like the ordinance, they can come and petition to change the ordinance or to repeal the ordinance. And if they do not,
I think we confused it, we thought it was just related to the commission.
no,
So it's just any ordinance.
just ordinances. That's okay. I mean, I don't have any particular issue with that. I mean, it's up to you.
This is somewhat of an appeal process, so that they can have another level of appeal if the one at the commission level fails, correct? Let's say they want an ordinance revoked or repealed.
No, but don't call it appeal, because it's not an appeal. It's a referendum, period. Okay?
Okay, basically, this is when the residents, the voters are
Not happy, I
with the
mean-
new ordinance, and they said that we
Sure.
don't like that ordinance, we come back to the commission and we have to petition to change the ordinance, right?
And I'll give you a perfect example that does work, okay? We passed a particular ordinance sometime back, and there's a lot of people that said we don't like it, and they came back to the commission and the commission repealed it.
Okay.
I mean, this was a year or two ago. I mean, the billboards.
The billboards.
Well, Mr. Villalobos, if this is only for that, repeals and change the resolutions, and it has been here has been in the books for 10, 30 or 40 years, leave it as it is. It's a tool.
Okay.
You gave an example of how it works, so.
It's a tool that the
It's
residents.
there if we need it.
Yeah.
So, everybody in accord?
Yes?
Okay, good. Now, mayor and vice mayor. The only comment that I have here is that there's two sections in the charter that talks about the execution of contracts. One is this one here, that the execution of contract is the responsibility of the mayor. Now, as I see it, that will be a responsibility of the commissioner, I'm sorry, of the manager, because the mayor in this case is the official representative of Miami-Dade County, of the city of Miami, of West Miami. And
You gotta promote.
I'm thinking too fast.
Carlos?
I just had a mayor. I was at the commission meeting yesterday since 7 o'clock in the morning, okay? And we were very lucky because we won. But it took the whole day just to pass one item, so, you know.
I can see your face, you're happy.
I'm very happy.
It's a big smile, so.
Major victory. You see, it would be a major victory
Now,
because
I have a question. What was the major victory? Was that big money?
it-
1.5 billion, so
1.2 billion dollars.
Congratulations for your.
Yes.
Can I ask that about? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
There was
one,
the federal money that is coming.
there's a mandate by federal government.
It was a-
One at a time, please.
There's a mandate by the federal government. If you take just a pipe, regular pipe that had taken a water pipe, the one that you drink the water from,
Underground.
and you look at it, I have a couple of pieces, and Mr. Pena has a couple of sections of pipe. You will be amazed of what you can see there, you see?
Just get a lot of minerals.
So,
A lot of traces. We all need that stuff.
okay.
Now, Mr.
So
Villalobos.
there's a federal mandate that you have to change. It's going to cost Miami-Dade County about $11,000 million. Okay, $11 billion.
Considerable amounts.
It's a lot, yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a-
So how did you win? You
It's
got
the
them the
whole
money?
infrastructure.
I'm sorry.
How did you win? You got them the money?
No, I got the my client was the company selected
Yeah,
To
they won.
oversee,
to oversee.
the
You
construction
really,
of
really
the.
won then.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
wonder you're happy.
Yeah,
I'm very happy.
Why? Big smile, I knew. So
I ordered a
something
new
was-
car
But now, the point is this.
just yesterday.
You bring this item.
I'm very persuasive.
You bring, you cut your hair and everything, you. Like, that's why you cut the
He
hair.
went to.
No, I'm get, I'm,
You have fresh money.
I just want to imitate you.
You have
with
fresh
the-
money. You have fresh money, now, good. Now, you bring these items to the table, because what you present is that the commission authorized the administration, the manager, to get a contract or.
To execute a contract.
Once we approve,
To
we
execute.
instruct the manager's office to get involved in the deal with the vendor,
Yes,
right? And the point is that once the administration and the manager's office is the person who is going to deal with the vendor, the manager's office should execute the contract, not the elected officials.
yes, sir. That's,
Good point.
that's my suggestion.
And here was, I think this was what here we have in the Strong Mayor.
Exactly, that section
I
of
think
the
we have
charter
the Strong Mayor
stayed from the
before,
old one.
and the
Yeah.
Strong Mayor used to sign. And
You know-
when they changed that, they reduced the money for the mayor, and they made the mayor, the commission, they put it very low. They make a strong manager office. And that's what your point is that the manager's office should execute instead of the mayor. That's what I can see here, right?
Yes, sir.
So what you're proposing that we delete? How do you want that?
Delete execution of contract.
And what about
These
these
and
and
other
other
documents?
documents?
Let me, one at a time. Delete execution of contracts.
Anyway, the commission will approve the action for the manager.
The manager cannot do anything except by the will of the commission. The commission has,
The manager will be authorized for that.
yes, the commission has two
Balance of power.
main tasks or duties. Number one is to review the existing laws called ordinances. Number two, do resolutions of, which is a resolution. The difference between an ordinance and a resolution is that an ordinance is a mandate. It's like a law. A resolution is just an expression of a certain sentiment that the commission has. Okay? But it's not a law. For instance, we can say a resolution suggesting that Miami-Dade County adopt a resolution, an ordinance, or whatever. We cannot do a mandate to Miami-Dade County to do anything. Okay? So that's the difference between the one and the other. So let me read that paragraph again, okay? Number one, I'd like to find out what is the consensus as far as deleting execution of contracts.
I'm in agreement.
I was
Well,
asking
call the question.
mayor, what do you think? Because sometimes the mayor is busy with a plan, and the manager have to run after him to get a signature. And anyway, the office who have the power to execute is the manager's office.
Let me
Call the question.
let me finish. Well, okay, fine. Call the question.
May I call the question?
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes. And see, the commission has, as I said, two tasks. Number one, the task of the mayor representing the city, okay, in everything, not just one issue, on everything. They should never have an individual commissioner, and we had had that in the past, assuming the responsibility of representing the commission, the city of West Miami. That is the duty and responsibility only of the mayor, nobody else, okay? And number two, the commission is charged with other two tasks, which is number one, do ordinance and resolutions, and number two, approve a budget. The commission or commissioners cannot go to over the head of the manager and go out to the chief of police and say, we want you to do, or I want you to do this, that, or the other. Or can I go out to Mr. Penn and say, I want you to pick up the garbage at 7 o'clock in the morning. As a matter, we have that in the charter, but we don't have any teeth in that law. If you go out to Coral Gables and a commissioner goes out over the head of the manager and orders one of the supervisors to do anything that can cost them their job, it's a forfeiture of office. They do have teeth. We don't have teeth here.
That's number one.
In our charter, it says you can't do it, you have to go through the office of the manager, but there are no remedies
if you go.
If you don't.
But that's number one. And number two, the bureaucrats will not pay attention to the commission. They only will pay attention to the manager, which is
That has the ability to
Okay.
fire them
That's a real guy,
or
that's a
hire
real.
them.
So let me now read the entire section, okay? The mayor shall preside the meetings of the council or commission, shall be recognized as the head of the city government for all ceremonial purposes by the government for purpose of military law or service of process. Service of process means that whenever anybody is going to sue the city, they don't serve the manager, they don't serve the clerk, they don't serve me, they serve the mayor. Okay?
It represents the good and the bad.
The good, the
So-
bad, and the ugly.
So we should delete execution of contract.
Now, the next goes out what the clerk wanted for me to address, which is deeds and other documents. Again, deeds should be an issue to be handled by the administration upon directions of the commission. In other words, if you're going to sell the property, the commission is the one that by 3/4 vote authorize the sale of the property. Okay? Now, the sale of the 4/5, I'm sorry. Right.
So,
But the mayor does not go out to a closing and signs there. So it is the manager that goes out to a closing upon being directed by the administration. The manager cannot do anything else except with the specific mandate by the commission.
Mr. Council.
Yes, sir.
So we should delete execution of contracts, deeds, and other documents.
Well, other documents, it's, that word is a very generic thing, and it doesn't really mean anything. When you talk about deeds,
What do you suggest to delete in this?
I would say delete execution of contracts and deeds.
Okay.
And that would be the responsibility of the manager.
All right.
Now, with the understanding that if you all agree that that should be deleted from this section, it should be inserted in the manager's duties and responsibilities.
I think that it's already there somewhere.
Yolanda, it should be because we authorize the manager's office.
Yes.
When we authorize administration, is the manager's office.
Right, and every resolution that you have, it says a resolution of the mayor of city commission authorizing the city manager to do X,
Yeah,
Y,
because
and
the city manager is the executive here, is the executive office.
It's not here in
Could be
the,
one of the B, C, D, E, it could be one of those subsections, but it's not there now.
No,
It
it's
should be
not.
added on.
It should be added on.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the question in the ballot would be like this, more or less. Shall the city charter be amended by deleting from the mayor's responsibility execution of contracts and deed and
Yes.
place it upon the responsibility on the manager?
I think the mayor would be happy with that.
I'm very happy.
If we leave the word "and other documents," then that doesn't make sense if you read it in its entirety.
Listen, take it out.
It doesn't make sense,
Yeah,
because
because-
if you delete, when you take out execution of contracts, deeds, you read it, it just doesn't make sense.
And other documents.
Unless you put a word like miscellaneous document or something like
We
that.
have to either
Yeah.
change it or
Yeah.
do something, because
I
that
totally
that
agree.
doesn't sound right.
Right.
Just delete it, this is what we're here for.
If he's not going to execute any deeds, any contracts,
Supposed to be deleted.
yeah.
Take it out?
Any other documents,
Okay.
Take it out?
because there will be no executor. There will be no execute anything.
Yeah, maybe there it just doesn't.
No, the whole sentence has to be reworked,
Right.
because then in the word execution,
I think the first sentence should end where it says service and process.
Period. That's it.
And then, the mayor shall act as the city official designated to represent the city in all agreements with other governmental entities or certifications to other governmental entities, but shall have no administrative duties except as required to carry out the responsibilities herein.
Perfect.
That's fine.
Motion.
All right.
Motion. So move I.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now, the next paragraph is very, I'm sorry.
Just for my own clarification.
Yes, sir.
I'm confused on one section. When you go to 404, powers and duties of the city manager, there's a section that says signs contracts. On letter I. Is that
Yes,
referring
but
to the same
signs
thing?
contracts, let's say, execution of contracts, I think it should be a little bit clearer, because I could sign any contract, let's say with a union. I sign those contracts, but again, it goes back to the issue that the commission, under a resolution, will authorize me to enter into a contract with someone. So I would actually insert the word execution of contracts, of all contracts.
Correct, that's what I was saying.
And that
It's right there.
includes everything.
Okay. So what we will do is delete it from section 3.08 and a language that would read more or less, shall the charter section 3.08 be amended as to delete the execution of contract deeds and other documents, and making that the responsibility of the city manager. That's a very point very well taken, sir. Okay? Now, the next sentence is very simple. I mean, it's the vice mayor shall act as a mayor in the absence of the mayor. Okay? And then the other one is the same thing. I mean, he who gets the highest vote will be the vice mayor. Except that if they're tied, we'll just go ahead and flip a coin.
That's fun.
Who wants another cookie, please?
We got plenty.
There's still some here. Somebody who should bring coffee next time.
I'm gonna bring milk. I'll bring coffee too, okay.
We'll have it next time.
Cookies.
We'll have it next
decaf,
time.
Okay. Yolanda, at least the city should bring the coffee. All these volunteers.
We need to add that to the budget.
How about dinner?
Well, Mr. Villalobos,
I want to miss my dinner. What?
the next
Bring in the fried
contract,
chicken and pizza.
There you go.
the next contract, Mr. Villalobos firm wins.
Now that he's
He will
got
pay,
our
he will pay
money,
this.
right.
Now that he's all smiles, where's that pizza?
Yeah.
The next, my next task is to have my client David Beckham get the stadium. So.
As long as we can get a picture with him.
Well, you know, I can print my picture with David Beckham, and you can. You don't know the difference.
You can just Photoshop it.
I like to see your picture with his wife.
No,
Because he's an ugly guy.
no.
Take a picture with his wife.
Anyway,
He's a beautiful
Did you see
lady.
that Super Bowl commercial?
But
I'm sorry?
He's a beautiful wife. What he's doing, taking a picture with that guy. Okay, now.
Okay, next.
Where are we now?
We're on,
4.01.
What page?
city manager.
403?
well, there's something at the top.
Yeah, it says that if, in
At the very
case,
top of,
in case
in
the
the event of a-
mayor and the
yeah,
vice mayor are incapacitated, then a councilman, if he's appointed, it says that
Or elevated.
current terms shall not be shortened by such appointment or
okay, so
elevation.
that stays as is?
So,
Yes, yeah, next.
so wait a minute, so if he just want, if he have, well, yeah, okay, it will be 2 years, right, because he,
Un-
Is that short?
because if
It's
he wouldn't be the vice mayor, so it would be, yeah, it would just be,
Yeah,
Any-
that would not
So you-
have nothing to do with the vice mayor.
Right.
okay, so that, yeah, that's
Okay,
right.
so 4.01.
Mr. Villalobos, we have something from the old business we should treat next time, not today. But we have something pending from the last meeting,
Yes, sir.
okay? As long as you remember.
No, I'll bring it right now. I mean, it's
No, let's not.
Let's
No.
keep the way we are now.
okay.
Confusing as it is, when we jump around like this.
No, let's keep the way we're doing now.
Okay, city manager. There shall be a city manager. This is the description of what the city manager is going to be and who is he or she, okay? There shall be a city manager who shall be the chief administrative officer of the city. That is the CEO. The manager shall be responsible to the commission for the administration of all city affairs placed in his or her charge by or under this charter, except for the purpose of inquiry. The commission and its member shall deal with the administrative service solely through the manager. This is what I was talking about before. Okay? It's a mandate. And neither the council nor a member shall give orders to any subordinates of the manager, either publicly or privately. You see, that avoids chaos. Okay? 4.02, appointment, removal, and compensation. Appointment, the council or the commission shall appoint the manager by a majority vote of all members of the council for an indefinite term. Now, indefinite term, that's has a problem with an existing contract that you have, Madam Manager.
Yes, Mr. Villalobos, and we spoke about that.
Okay.
Well, instead indefinite should be by the contract that the person has.
Well, the thing is this, you see.
Because indefinite is also something that can be broken any moment. Indefinitely is not perpetually. It's just indefinitely until something happens.
Right.
Contract is
I don't
is
remember.
something that have the date.
I don't remember, well, but there's a contract that not only with the manager, but with the city attorney. It doesn't say that here, but anyway, I don't remember the terms of your contract, Madam Manager, so could you explain it to the board?
The terms of my contract is, provides for annual reviews, if I'm not mistaken, and it provides for an option to renew every 2 years, and I believe mine goes to 2016 or 17. Every 2 years, there's an option to renew clause in it. But it's basically, it was a 6-year contract at the time that it was approved.
It was approved by here.
Almost 2 years ago.
What you suggest? Take the for an contract term instead of an indefinite term?
See, contracts have remedies. Whenever you have a contract, you agree with someone to do something that in Latin is it's called do or dest. I give you and you give me.
My point is, what is your problem with this word? Indefinite. That's a word.
Because I don't remember the term of the contract of the manager. That's.
So what you suggest? Just keep this, delete this word.
Not deleted.
Council members for a contract term.
For a term of contract.
Pursuant to the contract.
Exactly. And pretty much this was written many years ago when we went to a manager form of system. And back in 1979, when the city went over to a manager form of system, most managers in Miami-Dade County worked at the will of the commission, but without a binding contract. In today's world, most managers in every municipality in Dade County work with a contract.
And they should.
And they should because of the volatility of the position and the politics.
So we can say pursuant to his or her contract.
That's my question.
Subject to renewal.
Okay.
Just pursuant, because I think the renewals in the contract.
Now we go on to the next paragraph because that has to be, there's a rule called the rule of completeness. You see, nothing exists by itself, but in conjunction with the entire paragraph, okay? So removal of the manager. The council shall appoint or the commission shall appoint the city manager for indefinite term and may remove him or her by a majority vote of the member. That is not what a contract.
That's what I was gonna say, because if she has a 6-year contract, then how can, they turn around and remove her?
That's my point. See, that should read except for cause.
Except for cause, right.
Okay.
There should be a clause for cause.
See, this cannot be arbitrary and capricious, and it's my counsel to you. See, it gives a sense of stability, it walks away from politics. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to fire you next time. And this is what happens in certain city that everybody knows that is in the press right now, okay? Just think of it. You come to me and you say, you're a commissioner, and I said, look, I want to pass this. And I say, and it has happened to me in the past. And there was a time that there was a very sensitive issue that more than one time I was told, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that. And my response was, you can go blankety blank, blankety blank. But that's because it's me. But there's a lot of people that don't act that way, you know?
So your suggestion is to add the cost.
See, to change
For cost, okay.
manager, attorney, and the engineer.
Manager, city attorney, and engineers, removal for cause.
Remove for cause only. You see, that will avoid again the issue of being pressured by a political.
But it's got to
Let
be
me ask a question,
to the
I mean,
point.
and I think Yolanda has always done an awesome job, but let's say we had, someone who was doing something that was not correct in her position. If you have that at a cost, how will we get rid of that person though?
You
Let's
know,
say Yolanda now goes crazy.
I mean, goes crazy or?
She's close to it, no.
Wait a minute, wait a minute.
How does, this is just a question, how do we get rid of her?
Well,
If that were the case.
because it's for cost. I mean, you have to have certain costs, and certain costs is,
Oh, okay.
might be defined
I understood cost.
cost.
No, no,
Cost,
cause,
cost.
cause.
No cost,
Okay.
cost.
For just reasonable.
Just cause.
And then,
Okay.
yeah, and then
Just-
we
Okay,
present the
that's-
problem.
I thought for cost that we were gonna
For
buy
just
her out. which is
See,
fine.
That's why I
That's
would
what
do
you
it
do.
first.
I was very afraid by your wording,
No, then, okay.
because, you know, when you say that she goes crazy, I mean, I might have an opinion that, that the plateau has already been reached.
Hello, you're very happy, but
Okay, no,
do something, done.
So if there was a cost for her, then
To
we
remove?
could remove her.
Okay, so
Okay, good.
I have to word for you, I mean, if I get the concept, I'll sit with the clerk and we'll draft some language that will fit all three, okay?
Perfect.
Reasonable cost, right?
I'm sorry?
Reasonable,
Just cause.
Will
Just
be-
cause. Just cause.
reasonable just cause.
Reasonable.
No, just cost.
Just,
Okay, and then delete,
because what is reasonable to you may not be reasonable to
okay,
the
and
other
then delete
commissioner.
indefinitely. And then for a contract term.
For the contract term.
In the previous paragraph.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
I think that protects the city.
You
too.
follow,
Yes.
and then
Powers of the city manager.
Mr. Attorney.
Yes, sir.
6:57. We have a meeting at 7:30. I would like to, like last time.
Okay.
Pretty close to 7. No, I mean, we can go into the next one, but,
The other,
We have to prepare for the next meeting.
okay, well, this might take a little time.
right.
And again, I apologize. I really promise that next time around, I will leave Miami-Dade County at 2 o'clock.
we're lucky next time you come happy like tonight.
Maybe we could put something in the charter to fix the traffic situation in Miami-Dade.
Oh, yes, we need to set, guys, we
need to
Next day.
When we meet next.
we didn't
discuss, B, schedule of next charter review board meeting, yes.
Okay.
5B, we skipped over it.
Madam Clerk, calendar. Madam Manager, calendar.
Going to it right now.
Next commission meeting is,
June 4th? June 4th, yes.
June 4, I will be in all here.
You will be here?
No.
No?
I won't either.
Oh, that's right.
So, other than the week, next week of that, after, second week of
And
June.
I won't be here, I won't be here the 11th either.
How about the 18th?
It's a request for
Well,
proposal.
we have to have our questions in for the November ballot, Annette? August 5th.
So we're not finding it for people. I'm
Well, with all due respect to Commissioner Suarez, there's still the rest of us. And we don't have that much time to wait a whole nother month.
Right.
I suggest that we can stay with June 4th. You'll get a copy of the minutes and you'll know what's going on.
There
But
will,
he's
there
not
will
gonna be
be,
here either.
the vice mayor's also out of town on the 4th.
Then what's the very next, when is the next commission
The
meeting?
following, the two meetings in June are the 4th and the 18th.
18 is okay for me.
We could have the 18th,
For me, 18 is okay.
and if we have not made significant progress, and I know some people may not be really happy about this, but perhaps we could have another session on the 25th, because in July, we jump into the budget towards the middle of the month. So if we could have two back-to-back meetings, we could make significant progress.
So move.
Okay,
June
all in
8th.
favor, say aye.
June 11th,
13th and 26th.
At what time? At
5:30.
I won't be here on the 26th.
Ronda.
No, I